What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for another exciting week of building Cato Neimoidia. This week I started out by taking that large chunk of utapau that I had underneath the table and starting to dismantle it. I'm doing this because I want to get it out of the way, and last week I realized how much slope 2x4 dark tan and 2x4 filler I was going through already, and I knew there was a gold mine of all of that in this chunk. You can see over there on the right there's a huge swath of green bricks, and you can see up on the top underneath the terrain there's a big rainbow chunk of filler, and plus all that dark tan that you can obviously see. So I decided to take this apart and kind of see how much that would replenish. I think it should be a pretty good amount. I'm really excited to get this out of the way as well. It'll be, it'll just be nice. It'll give me some good closure on utapau. I've got most of the mountain area taken apart. You can see this is really all that's left. I do have a little bit down here still, but that over there is actually going to be turned into a mini mock, kind of commemorating utapau. We'll be doing more on that later. I do have that chunk to get rid of, but the bulk of it has been taken apart and put into the bins, which has been really nice because I replenished a lot of these that were starting to look a little low, and I'm much less worried about my part situation. I honestly didn't realize how many different kinds of parts were all in this chunk. And I also wanted to show you guys how I go about taking apart large stuff like this. So instead of taking individual pieces apart and then going back and forth between all my bins, I create little piles of everything, and then once I get to a point where the piles are becoming obnoxious or I'm all done, then I just take each of the piles away. That tends to be more efficient and helps me get the stuff taken apart quicker. So I'm going to finish taking this apart. This may seem tedious and not extremely related to Cato Neimoidia, but I got a ton of pieces for Cato Neimoidia and freed up a bunch of space underneath the table, both of which are things that will impact Cato Neimoidia in the future. I did also get a bunch more filler bricks, which will be nice because you remember I'm starting on the second mountain this week. But before I start on that second mountain, I actually need to swap out all of these for gray base plates because I decided to go with the extra length. I just feel like, in order to do this mock justice, I need to make it longer. So I need to go to the store and get those. That wraps up everything I wanted to show you guys, but I will not check back in until I have some good progress to show you guys. I also forgot to show you, this is all of the dark tan brick that I've gotten from that chunk. You can see just a ridiculous amount, almost as tall as my cliff face. This time lapse is just going to be me laying down the trans clear 1x1 studs. I decided to start doing this now just to get a little bit of a break from the mountain work and to give you guys something new to watch. Plus, I'm also interested to see how many of these I'm going to actually need. I do have, I think, around 4,000 right now, so we'll see how far that gets me, and hopefully that'll help me better gauge how many I'm going to need to order in the future. For this first layer, I'm just going to be throwing down a single row of trans clear studs. Probably won't be working too much with different heights or making cloud banks or anything like that. This time lapse was about 2 minutes long in total, which took me about 32 minutes to film, and in that time I didn't really get a whole lot done. So I cut the time lapse for you guys so you could kind of see me starting a little bit of the middle, then at the end, that way you didn't have to sit through the entire thing, because that probably would have been pretty boring. So pretty much all I've been doing this week so far in Cato Neimoidia is cloud work. You can see I got a lot of those studs down. In that time lapse, it took about 32 minutes to film all that footage, and I got maybe that much done, which is crazy considering how long it took me. Just kind of painstaking to put each individual little stud down, and this is just for one flat row. So you can see, I think in total I've got about 4,000 studs down. My brother came by the other day and helped me put a bunch of these down, which was really nice. Then I got some over there. Unfortunately, I am clean out of trans clear studs, which was kind of surprising. I didn't expect to run out already, but I will get some more ordered. The nice thing about this section is I don't have to have it finished right away. This is something I can do, as they come in. I think what I'm going to start working on next is this side. I'm going to get some more gray base plates today, hopefully, and then I'm going to stick them on here so I can start on this section and then get this rock wall in, this cliff, whatever you want to call it. I got to take some more. I got to finish taking apart this utapao chunk as well. I think I'm going to hold off on putting this second table in as long as I can, just because it's going to eat up so much space and I still need to get the table legs as well. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe either have the gray base plates hang off of the mock a little bit, or I'll just take up these bricks right here along this row and kind of scoot these plates up and set them, kind of like scoot them in and set them on top of those. That way I kind of like bring the mock in that way. We'll see. I kind of just have to put the base plates down and see which solution will work out best for me. I'm excited to start on this side though, because I am planning a little Easter egg that's going to go right here. Probably it's going to be cool, a cool little like guard room or break room, something like that. We'll see. You guys will see more of that and like what I plan on doing as I start working on it. That's pretty much everything I have to update you guys with. Can't believe that I already ate up all of those studs I had. I thought I had so many. This is the final update for the week. So you can see overall the mock is really starting to come together. It's nice to now have both sides started. I'm in the process of getting more cloud pieces ordered. I'm going to need just so many more of those transclear studs. But the most interesting thing I want to talk about, and probably that happened since the last time I checked in, was this section over here. You can see I've got the wrappers over there, but yesterday or 2 days ago I went to the store and got some base plates, added those in right there. I decided not to buy a third one just to save a little money and just use existing base plates I already had. That caused me to have a little 16 by 16 stud gap right here, which I don't think is really going to be a problem. And then it really makes the mock look a little bit longer. I think I might, experiment maybe with making this mountain section a little bit shorter. We'll see. I think this is a pretty decent amount to work with, honestly. I think I might just try and make this work. You can see I did have to scoot this table back, so now there's a gap right here. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to put this last table in until I absolutely have to, just to save myself, a little bit of time and money there. And, it's not super necessary. So this section right here is proving to be rather interesting because initially you can see I was building the filler brick wall in the back here, and then I remembered I actually want to have an Easter egg room back here, just like a little guardhouse or a little break room or something. And I thought it would look really stupid if I had a room in the middle of all this green filler brick. So I realized I got to at least put dark tan. And if I'm going to put dark tan right here, I should probably run dark tan the whole way. So I think on this side, I may go with a full dark tan back and then try the green out over on that side, just because I don't think I'm going to have any rooms in there. So maybe I could put a second room in here. So I will need more dark tan pieces, but I think in the end it's going to pay off. This cliff side is actually going to be a little different from that side, in the fact that this part right here, instead of running all the way to the end of the mock, is actually going to cut back this way at a basically a 90-degree angle, and we're going to have like a little section, like a little hidden alcove right here on this cliffside. I'm actually going to make a small little tunnel and some pipes, basically just some kind of piping, whether it be water, oil, sewage that goes, from Cato Neimoidia down somewhere else, or maybe even runs to something else. Basically just like a fun little Easter egg, because I wanted to add as much detail as I can to these cliffs, because they might be kind of boring by themselves. So you can see I've got some pipes there. I don't want to talk about these too much. Explain more about that probably next week, but all in all, it was a pretty good week, and I'm excited to get started on next week, honestly. Now that I've got like parts in, got sizing figured out, I'm ready and raring to go. All that being said, it's time to hit the outro. So it turns out kind of ruined my intro and outro for this update. That's why there wasn't either of those. So that's going to do it for this week of building Cato Neimoidia. Really appreciate all you guys watching. Don't forget to let me know what you think down below in the comments, and if you like the video, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up, and as always, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. But until next time, happy building.